This one I'm going to start showing you the end product, which is right here. The first thing I'm going to show you are the steps. What I'm doing is I'm making a step stool for my granddaughter. And I think you can see there, they're carved in. What I'm going to do is sand the surface first and let the sandings fill these holes back up, like up here. Then I'm going to spray it lightly with lacquer. And then I'm going to clean out the holes and fill them with a walnut wood putty. And what that does is it gives an inlaid effect without the stain bleeding too much in here. Okay? That way I don't have to sand as much. So I'm going to sand it lightly, spray it, vacuum it out after it dries, and then lightly spray it, because if it's a force spray it blows that sawdust on stuff. And then put in the wood putty, walnut color, and then sand it back down and spray it again. That's how I'll finish it. So we'll see how it turns out. I'll let you know. The next step is pretty fast. What you see is I sand it, I add a little bit more sawdust because they're not quite full. Sand it down so it's nice and smooth. Get rid of as many of the edges as I can. It does a pretty good job. And then I wipe it horizontally with that towel so that I can spray it. That gets the dust off the surface. And so I clean it up. I put 2 coats on it, and then after it dries, 20 minutes later, I start the vacuuming process. So I suck all that stuff out of there. Then I take it off the table, and the next step is to add the paste, as you'll see, or putty, I should say. So it's quite a detailed process. It takes a little bit of time, but gives you a nice finished product. It's a different effect. If you have never done it, it's worth trying once or twice and seeing if you like it. It's kind of fun. All right, the next step is taking a round file and going around each one of these. And get rid of those little bitty burrs. Can you see them? All right. See, there's a big one there. I guess I should have used a sharper tool. See it right there? See those little burrs? So I got to get rid of those. And then I'll fill them, as you'll see. The next step, I've got it cleaned out. I'm going to put wood filler in it. I use the plastic wood filler. It's nice when I get it in a bigger can, but this time I couldn't. So, and you just push it in there. So I'm going to put this down so I can use 2 hands and work on it. All right, the first coat's done. I have to let that dry according to the can. I think it's for 15 minutes. Read your directions, depending on the kind you get. And then what I'll do my second coat, because it says 2 coats. I made this a little deeper than I should have. Should have made it about 0.07. I think I made it 0.1 or 0.15. Anyway, there it is. So the next one I flip it around like this and coat it this way. Okay, I'm not going to sand in between because I don't want to take off that varnish that's protecting my surface. That way I can sand this. You can see some of it went down in some of the cracks, but it should be alright. Just give it another accent. And it almost looks like when you're done that you've got a very expensive, time-consuming inlay, but it's not. It's turns out nice, as you'll see. Okay, it's ready for sanding. We'll see how it turns out. I wish I had one of those wide belt sander things, but I don't. Not yet. It's on the list after a planer. So we're getting there. So we'll see how it looks. Alright, what I've done, this is the side step, and I didn't cut it all the way out on the CNC. I carved these images in it to make the step a little lighter and also provide decorations. I think they turned out pretty good. These up here, praying hands, those are some models or plaques that I make and sell. Oh, this is a waste board from here to here. That's where the step goes. So right here I'll be cutting with a chop saw. Right there, straight across there, and here, straight across there, and you can see the line faintly here, right there. So there, I've got 3 cuts to make with a chop saw, and then I'm sanding and varnishing and all that stuff. So this is one side, this is the other side. If you can envision that, you'll see it here shortly. Put it together. So one of the things I did when I zeroed this to cut off, I actually zeroed to this board right here. So I zeroed here so that when I cut through this, I know I didn't cut really deep. Because in the past I've been cutting deeper into the spoil board than I need to. So I've started zeroing off this, and I know my material is 0.75. The problem is that it's not. The lumber companies don't really standardize anymore. So I zeroed off here and then moved it to 0.75 and then set that 0.75 as my new 0 point. That way when I cut, you can see right here that I didn't cut all the way through. I did cut all the way through, but I didn't ruin my spoil board. So if you look at it, I didn't put any tabs in this. Why not? Well, because it's held together where the chop saw goes, and here. So I didn't have to put any tabs. So just another tip, you can, if you're making stuff, a standard product that you sell like this, which is my plaques, praying hand plaques, then every chance you get, you can slide one in to a waste material. So that way you can get a couple things done at one time. So, all right, have fun with your CNC. Okay, it's all together. It's got carving on the side, lettering with the walnut fill on the top in the first step. And then another carving on this side. So that makes a step so she can get up on the sink. So that's the way, one of the ways you can take your CNC and make a project that's fun and fancy. Have fun with your CNC.